You can go.
I'm Greeson. I'm a senior community health major. I was born in Busan, South Korea. I was adopted when I was about 11 months old. I basically lived here in the United States my entire life.
Awesome.
I have a sister. She's 26. She was also adopted from Seoul, South Korea. She was adopted when she was about 3 months old. Both my parents are from here in the United States. Anything else? I guess you could say my dad's the head household, I guess you could say. I mean, yeah. So, okay. No. In some ways, yes, just because I grew up, I grew up basically, being the only minority. There wasn't really that many Asian people, like Indian minorities at my elementary school, and so kind of like stuck out, I guess you could say. But as far as making friends, I really didn't have a problem, just because once people got to know me, then I kind of like fit in with everyone else. People kind of like a Chinese boy and like Asian, and like, kind of like made fun of me because I was different from everyone else. But there's this, and after a while, we kind of like became, I guess you say, somewhat friends. After a while, I mean, at first it was kind of like it was difficult.
As far as your Korean heritage, do you keep in touch with any customs or anything of that sort?
Like anybody like close to me, like
Yeah, any family or just the culture of Korea.
I have not I never like really kept up with anyone from like my biological family.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as like cultural wise, since I was adopted, the opposite that I came from, um, they usually had this camp, and I used to go to when I was a kid. And as far as like keeping up with like culture wise, that's probably as close as I got.
And what did you do at this camp?
It's just like a culture camp, just really get, making sure like it's basically, this all the cultures like up from the adopted nation, people from Russia, China, Vietnam, Korea, and things like and other countries from international countries is coming together and just really celebrating each other's cultures and really come out diversity kind of thing.
Do you have a favorite story from this camp?
At the end of the week, they have this dinner where everyone might bring like a favorite dish from the culture and stuff, and then the campers usually like made their own dishes and stuff, and it was kind of this fun, just doing hands-on cooking in the kitchen, and it's really having fun, and it's really like going in and just adding different food together and stuff, and one of the dishes that we made was a seaweed wrap, and all the other little kids was like eating all the seaweed and stuff, like just like it was like cookies and stuff, and I tried to eat it, and I took it 2 bites of it and it tasted the worst taste ever. Never again will I eat seaweed alone.
Yep. Let's see. Can you share a time with me you feel like you were favored or called out positively because you are an Asian American?
A lot of people always want to work with me like in group projects and stuff because they feel like I'm an Asian, so I must be really smart. So it's like, hey Chase, let's work in the group together. I'm like, sure, why not? And we usually get an A in the class, or in the project that is. And so it's kind of like always encouraging, if people think I'm a genius.
Okay. Do you have any stories of being discriminated against because of being an Asian American?
I don't actually remember this thing. I just remember like hearing stories from my mom and sister. But when I was about, I think I was in kindergarten and my sister was in second grade. This fifth grader threatened to kill both my sister and I because we were Asians. And as I mentioned earlier, I was only minority. Both my sister and I was only minority at the time. And she was a fifth grader. She's like, she was like saying all these hateful words and stuff like, I hate you guys, and I think I'm gonna kill you guys. And it kind of really like disturbing a little bit. And then my sister went home that afternoon and told my mom, and my mom called the school and we told like this fifth grader is starting to hurt both my kids. And so after then, a teacher escorted both my sister and I from our classroom to the parent pickup where my mom picked us up. And that was pretty much the only time I've ever been like discriminated at that age. And when I was in high school, I was in orchestra, and I was always been the quiet one, and didn't really talk a lot. And so this one girl, she was like really upset at the teacher, and the teacher was like, "Hey," it's like she lost her sheet music, and so it's like, "Hey, I don't have any music to play, so I can't really do anything." And the teacher was like, "Hey, go work with Chase." And so she was like, "I don't want to work with Chase. He doesn't speak any English." And from the entire class, and I was kind of like, I don't know, I didn't know what to say. Doing what I did was kind of like took me by shock, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe she just said that." And the whole class was in shock as well, and they were really surprised about it. But yeah, that's pretty much that.
How do you and your friends, do your friends make jokes about you being an Asian American?
I mean, they do. I mean, it kind of gets annoying after a while. It's because it's kind of like, it's an Asian joke, It's kind of like, we get it, I'm Asian, I know. But, I mean, it's probably like getting offended and like really getting aggravated, I don't really get offended really easy. I'm kind of like, it's another Asian joke, laugh at it, just move on. And sometimes I even make Asian jokes as well, just for the laugh and stuff. But it doesn't really bother me because I know everyone's joking. I mean, if like some random person like trying to make a joke, then I make really take by offense. But it's probably like close friends and stuff that I know that I know they're joking. It doesn't really bother me as much.
Do you keep in touch with other Asians on the Georgia College campus?
No, I do not. I don't really know that many Asians. I think I only know one person on this campus that's Asian. I'm just gonna make something up.
Okay.
To make it sound good.
Good.
There was actually a moment, probably when I was about first grade. I kind of realized, times, people always ask me, "Are you from China? Or are you from Japan?" It's like, no, I'm not from China. I'm from South Korea. And then they always ask about, hey, do you know anything about the culture? Since I was adopted at a young age, I don't remember anything from living in South Korea. So it's kind of really difficult. And the next question I always ask, do you speak South Korean or speak any kind of Korean? And I don't know any Korean because, like I said, I've basically lived here my entire life, and so English became my national first language. I mean, when I came to the United States at 11 months old, I kind of was speaking a little bit Korean, but since both my parents was American and spoke English, and the people I went to school with, and people that came to visit family and stuff that come over. They spoke English, and television shows I watched was English, so I kind of basically came to learn more English in that way. And so it's probably being realized that I'm different. It's kind of like I'm always the one that's always get caught up as being the Asian one, or as being the one that's different, I guess you could say.
Let's see. Do you ever plan to visit Korea?
Honestly, I've thought about, as maybe one day after I graduate from college and find a really good job, I would love to go back to South Korea and just to go back to the orphanage where I came from, and just to see if I find like any like information about my family, like birth parents and stuff. I know a little bit about my my birth parents, biological parents, and at the time I was born, I didn't have any siblings, so I was the only child. But I mean, I would love to go back and just find any information about previous like history of medical history and anything, because I don't know anything about my medical side. So I would love to go back, and hopefully in the near future, once I graduate from college, get a job, and have enough money to go over there, I'll have to spend like maybe like a month or a few weeks or a month over there, just you know just visiting the culture and really just visiting my roots and stuff. It'd be kind of really interesting to see.
I had another question. I forgot. Let's see. Oh, as far as the job market, once you do graduate, do you foresee being Asian American to be a problem or a positive thing?
Wow.
Or just not in effect?
I mean, honestly, I hope it doesn't really come like the decision, because I don't like to be the one that really like pointed out like getting the job because I'm Asian or because I'm male or because of anything. I want to like be treated equally. So I'm hoping as far as I find a job in the job market, I hope it's not really going to like. I mean, I hope I don't have any advantages, and I hope I don't have any disadvantages. So I hope it's like it's I don't know what the word, equally compared to like everyone else. And I want to be like, I always want to be like treated equally. I don't want to be like always been. I don't want to be treated like any differently than anyone else, because now I want to be I want to get a job because I deserve it, not because I'm Asian or because of anything else.
Is there a special reason that your parents decided to adopt from South Korea, or is that just where they ended up?
There wasn't really a reason why I know of. I know, as far as I know, both my mom was unable to have children of her own, so she decided both my dad decided they wanted to adopt, and they come in contact with an adoption agency, and they told her like, hey, we have a child from South Korea, my sister, that's born. My sister was born with a bilateral cleft palate, and so she was like, that's the only thing that's medical wise that's wrong with her. She's a great child. She needs a good home and a good family to go to, and someone to really help help for surgeries and stuff. And so they started the adoption process with her, and then like 2 years later, they got another call. It was like, hey, we have a little boy, from South Korea. Another little boy from South Korea. I was actually, another family has originally starting the paperwork for me to be adopted in somewhere in California, and they turned me down because they saw my motor skills wasn't really as high, and they thought something was wrong with me. And so, I mean, I wasn't, obviously, because the only reason why my motor skills was so low, it was because I was like malnourished. I wasn't really getting fed that much, and because I was living in an orphanage, so both my parents decided, hey, my parents didn't have enough money to go through the adoption process, but there was they raised enough money. They did everything they could to get enough money for me to adopt me. And so that was basically how I got adopted. I think I answered the question.